Hey guys, what's going on? This is your broadcaster Master Cloud, and it's time for some more The Rise of the Witch King. Of course, the expansion to Battle for Middle-earth 2, the Lord of the Rings series, of course. Now, spawning in the upper left-hand side as Mordor, it is going to be the player Akashi-San, also known as Andy, and his opponent spawning in the lower right-hand side of the map as elves. It is going to be the player May Shadow. Now, a couple of you, or actually many of you, should be familiar with either one or both of these players. May Shadow has been featured on my channel several times, as well as Andy. So both of these players, having been on my channel before, both of them extremely well versed in the game, in the tactics, and in the newest patch. Of course, this is being played on the newest patch, 2.02 version 4. And of course, guys, this is part of that April 2015 one-day tournament that was hosted by GameReplays.org, and May Shadow here going for an early green pasture to get what could potentially be an early lead, although we are actually going to see a Haradrim Palace open from our Mordor player here. So this is a very unique opening by both players, and it will actually be quite interesting to see who actually takes the lead early on. And this is actually, so we're still in the very first rounds of the tournament, you guys. I'm going to be going through several of those first round games. I've had several requests, as well as I mean, there's just so many good games and so many good players in that first round that I just want to get as many of them as I possibly can. So definitely stay tuned for more of that. Of course, the map here, it is going to be Fords of Isen II, a very, very popular map. I was looking through some of the tournament replays, guys, and I noticed that a ton of the games are on this map, which I'm almost a little bit disappointed in. But here comes the Horsemen. They are going to get a huge rush there on those Corsairs, and the rally call goes down by Andy. I think that was a bit of a mistake, as all of his units were already dead. He's going to have to cancel this building. Retreats with the builder might be able to get a slaughterhouse up, but he's going to be losing a couple of his buildings here. Definitely this one, assuming these horsemen can get around. And we do have pikemen on the way. The good part about Andy's strategy is here that he will be able to get out those early Easterlings to prevent the horses from doing too much damage. However, they've already done a pretty significant amount, taking out an entire unit and canceling a farm, and then getting another cancel on this other farm over here as well. We do have an Orc Pit finally going down, a little bit more traditional style now from Andy, as he will try to build up here and go for that very balanced army, with, of course, with the archers, with the pikemen. And well, actually, he's going to go for the Orc Warriors to start with here, throwing down a couple more Easterlings as well. But here's another surround on the Slaughterhouse. I think he might be able to get this before the Easterlings get in range. We could see a Rally Call go down there. May Shadow does have Rally Call available. Would have liked to maybe have seen him use that. It doesn't have a terribly long recharge time, or when how long it takes before you can use it again. So that could have been utilized there to take that out and put May Shadow even farther behind. But he's going to get a charge through most of those orcs. Now definitely could use it to take out this building if he chooses to. But here comes some more Easterlings from the backside. These units are going to have to retreat. A couple of Easterlings down here dealing with the work pick, going for that extra cash here early on, as he has been set back slightly here by some of the early game tactics of May Shadow. And actually, it looks like Andy, that's right, he went for that war chant power off the front. The horsemen actually steal the gold from the pikemen here, though, and Andy going to be reeling as he kind of gives that free gold up there to his opponent, who's already put him quite far behind. We now have the Linden Horse Archers, something you don't see all that often out on the field. They will begin to deal some range damage to these pikemen. And May Shadow just all over the map right now with his horsemen, with his units. Andy trying his best to recover, going for those additional war glares to try and grab any extra gold he can at this phase in the game. He has retained a couple more units. Going to be losing some pikemen down to the south. Will manage to take out the troll, though. So he will take that victory, and we'll begin to work on that now. So Andy here very heavily focusing on the creeps on the map, of course, to gain that extra resources, and that is going to be his key, it looks like, to try to get ahead in this match. Meanwhile, throwing away a couple of orcs here. It might actually get this unit of pikemen as orcs deal pretty decent amount of damage to them. The horse archers will be able to pick them off quite easily, but in the end, really these are just fodder units while Andy makes some strategic moves around the outsides of the map here. Going to be capturing this building on the lower side as well. Can now produce Easterlings for 250, of course. That is slightly less than you can at the Haradrim Palace, of course, for 300 there. So could potentially save some income now that way as well. And Andy trying to be incredibly cost efficient here in this game now. These pikemen able to take out a single Malorn tree may fall to some of these horse archers now, as there's plenty of them here. They deal a significant amount of damage to these pikemen. Looks like they will not survive for long. Golem is alive and on the map per standard tournament rules. Of course, the ring heroes, I love playing with those on, as that can be it can be a real game changer if you are able to find Golem, especially late game, and utilize that ring for your team. I don't want to say it's an instant win, but it's definitely something worth going for in a long-term game stalemate. And Akashi-San here doing a nice job really securing his area of the map. There's a ton of units out a ton of horsemen out for Mei Shadow, but they haven't been able to do the structural damage that they need to do. And these units are continuing to be produced. I think he probably could have just stayed there and tanked that, but he's actually going to be falling back here. I mean, really, there's only 2 units here, and these horsemen should be able to take these out pretty quickly. We now have an Entmoot going down at the front of Mei Shadow's base as he's attempting to begin a siege attack. I'm not sure he's quite ready for that yet, though, as he has plenty of units around the map to deal with right now. Will be able to pull away one unit of horsemen. The Easterlings should go down to the remaining horsemen. Again, pulls them back. Very nervous to lose any number of these, even though they are up to level 2 now, so they respawn units quite easily, as well as he could build a fountain in the front. I think he's pulling back just a little too early here. Mouth of Sauron now out on the field for Akashi-San. More Easterlings being pumped out of the inn on the left-hand side. We do have a unit of pikemen running around the backside here. A Mumakil pit has been erected by Akashi-San, and this is going to be his choice of siege equipment here. We'll actually have to see if there's a battle between perhaps an Ent and actually Treebeard is being summoned here by Mei Shadow, a pretty uncharacteristic unit to see out in the field. But in patch 2.02, Treebeard apparently 600 resources less inexpensive, as of course in the regular 2.01 patch, Treebeard does cost 2,000, I believe, and each Ent is potentially 1,000 here. So slightly better improved siege equipment here for the Ents, at least slightly more affordable. Mouth of Sauron is still running around, causing a little bit of trouble here, but there's so many horse archers out on the field that they should be able to deal with any units quite easily. They won't be able to deal with Mouth of Sauron, but he's not doing it too terribly much damage at this point in time, as he is sort of just running around. Might be able to pick up this Malorn tree here if if Mei Shadow does not attend to this. Treebeard is now out on the field, though. Level 10 Treebeard, health of 5,000. Let's take a look and see what's Mouth of Sauron's starting health. It is going to be 3,000. So you can see Treebeard almost double the health of Mouth of Sauron, who has a pretty surprising amount of health himself. Will definitely be able to get the tree here of Mei Shadow. That's going to grab him actually 2 levels, jumps from 1 up to 3. He will demount, take some additional damage while doing that, but should be able to deal with the remainder of these pikemen now, as he can take them out in a single hit each, as he has quite a skilled swordsman. We have a huge attack here in the front. All the pikemen and archers going to get a potential surround. Decide not to go for the Entmoot, though. Instead, going to be focusing on, doesn't really expect to take out the fortress right now. I guess he's just going for a couple of structures. Treebeard now focusing on some of the wargs in the north. Not sure if that's exactly what he wants to do right now. These pikemen continuing to chase down Mouth of Sauron. He may get away here. I think he in fact will. And there's plenty of Easterlings here to pick up the remainder of those units. Mei Shadow, I feel like throwing this game away a little bit here, as he's had a quite he has had a early game lead. And at this point, I would definitely say Akashi-San has come back and is sitting in a very good position, restricting the income flow of May Shadow, as well as getting out plenty of units, getting out powerful units like Mouth of Sauron, like the Mumakil, and now pushing forward to try to do some potential game-ending damage. Treebeard along the north side. I'm not quite sure where he's going. Mouth of Sauron looking for him, has not located him quite yet, as he is hiding within the trees over here now. I guess he's attempting to take out this cave troll. Could be using him for some small harass, though, potentially. Ton of Easterlings now moving along the bottom side. Those horse archers still on the field. I think May Shadow may be actually maxed on command points. I want to take a look at some of the powers. It looks like May Shadow has gone for the Rally Call, and then the 10 Elven Wood, potentially saving up for that 15 power of Summon Ents, which of course can be incredibly powerful and game-changing. Akashi-San going for that industry bonus, of course granting selected structures 300% output in terms of production, and it is going to be this building, but Treebeard has found it. And this is going to be a really great pickup for May Shadow, as that industry bonus takes a while to recharge. And with 2 stones, that slaughterhouse is down, and a potential additional slaughterhouse going to fall here. Treebeard is doing so much damage with those stones. Could have thrown an additional stone, I think, there. It might have been worth it, but is going to retreat now. Actually has some pretty impressive speed as well. On the lower hand side, though, the Mumik moving forward. Mumik, of course, singular for Mumakil being many. And this Mumik actually easily dealing with these pikemen, as they are far less effective in patch 2.02 than they were in patch 2.01. So you see those Mumiks dealing so much more damage. Here comes Treebeard to help hold off this potential attack, but Andy now throwing in tons of units streaming across the map. Here comes more orcs and Easterlings as well. Mouth of Sauron trying to chase down a couple of these horse archers who haven't really been able to deal any significant structural damage, and while they've been picking off a couple units here or there, Andy has been mass producing them. The Mumik now taking some damage, is going to get a nice hit off there. Treebeard now engaging the Mumik up close and personal, as these 2 epic units battle it out. The Mumik just going to ignore him for now and move farther in to try and attack some structures, it looks like. I'm not actually sure where it is going. It's potentially going for the horsemen. Might get a couple here, but I think Treebeard is going to be able to take it out from behind there. Gets a charge attack off on a couple of those units, but won't actually kill any of them. There goes the Mumakil falling to Treebeard, who's looking to be incredibly powerful in this matchup. Pretty surprisingly, looks like that Entmu did go down at some point, but right now it looks like May Shadow sitting at enough power points to go ahead and use that Summon Ent ability. Rock Drop not yet available to Akashi-San. Actually, I'm not even sure he's going down that path. I believe the industry path is down the alternate path, though. So he should have either darkness or I'm not sure of the other one. It's I believe it's actually the worm, the summon worm ability, or whatever it's called. And we do actually have an additional Ent out on the field. Oh, this is Treebeard, and this is just a regular Ent. And now we have the summon as well by May Shadow. He is going for the jugular of Andy, and Andy knows that he is pulling back his forces, pulling back his Mumakil, trying to defend his forces. Here comes the rock from afar from Treebeard. More Ents, though, from every side here, and this fortress is going to fall, and potentially with it the hopes of Mordor potentially taking this game, as he has no way really to deal with all these Entities baits. Treebeard goes down. Mouth of Sauron now focusing on the remainder of the Ents, but it takes a ton of damage here, and quite suddenly, May Shadow has turned this game around. I guess that's what he was waiting for, was the Summon Ent ability and launching an all-out attack. Until then, just kind of holding on. And Andy sitting in a pretty bad position right now. I'd say he's losing additional buildings here. Might lose the slaughterhouse as well. The Ent doing a ton of damage. Needs to throw maybe 1 or 2 or 3 more stones in order to actually take that out. The Mumakil is now finally in range, but he's going to get off another rock at least. The slaughterhouse falls, and at this point in time, Akashi-San really can't afford to be losing those, as he needs his builders to rebuilding structures, including, of course, that all-important fortress, giving him access to that 15 ability. I don't think he got the Awakened Worm ability. It looks like he bought it, but he was not able to utilize it. Or if he was, it wasn't very effective, apparently. So, of course, if he can get that fortress up, he'll have that ability available to him immediately. However, getting up the fortress is going to be the hard part, as he's only sitting at about... Actually, that's Mace Shadow sitting at 3k. Akashi-San now up to 4k. Of course, he needs those resources to build additional units. He's saving up right now, really hoping to go for that fortress. But in the meantime, his industry is suffering. His buildings falling to the south, to the center. His Mumakil running around, trying to defend them as best they can. But it's just not going to be enough. He's going to lose an additional slaughterhouse to the north, one to the south. Malthasaran still alive, but he's going to be losing his inn as well. Here comes the horseman as well, and Malthasaran looking to be in a lot of trouble. And of course, when Malthasaran goes down, he will not be able to rebuild him, of course, until that fortress is back up. And I think these archers will be able to get him here, yeah, quite easily. I think they should be able to chase him down. Malthasaran does fall, and I think with that, the chances, any chances Andy had of reclaiming this game in his favor, as it looks like Mace Shadow is going to go ahead and take game one here between these two players. Don't count Akashi-San out quite yet. It looks like he's trying to get back in this, but it's not going to be enough, and he knows it. So congratulations to Mace Shadow for winning that first game. Guys, definitely stay tuned. I'm going to be casting this entire series, so game 2 between Mace Shadow and Andy, two powerhouse players right now in the game, going to be going up against each other. So definitely stay tuned to my channel for more. As always, check out more about the game, patch 2.02. All of that stuff can be found over at gamereplays.org. Master Cloud signing out for now.